Alright guys, welcome back. We got war number 7. We're starting off with Cassie, Magneto, and Wiccan on path 1. And then I think we're switching over to path 3. The main account is going to go path 3 to path 1. This first one's the regen one, where you don't want to let them get too many regens. Wiccan is in just for this Hulkling here. We're going to start off again, 5-hit combo into a light attack to get the neutralize on, 5-hit combo into a medium to get the incinerate and pause the neutralize. Then we're going to go with the special one after the light hit combo to extend the neutralize again. Now all the buffs that he's getting are going to be converted into incinerates instead. So we just continue keeping up the neutralize and Hulkling will melt as usual. So first fight goes easy. Second fight, however, is the only one that really gave me trouble, and I wasn't really expecting it. This Cassie against Rintrah with Masochism and Vigorous Assault has actually ended up being much more annoying than I thought, mainly because I sped this one up because it took way too long. What I should have done at the beginning of this fight is I should have hit into him, even into the block, and use the withers to trigger the masochism. It would have triggered the unblockable, no problem. But instead, I get myself stuck into a scenario where I keep triggering the masochism with my power stings, and like here. So I get the power, I get him to hit into me, but I don't trigger any, again, don't trigger any of the power stings, and I wasn't doing any damage to him. So my whole the whole strategy here just kind of gets messed up, and I have to try and figure out what I got to do here. I wasn't applying the poison, which would have also helped if I could get it on and prevent some of the healing. And then I start getting messed up from the unblockable. So finally I get some power stings on. But again, they disappear. They're there. So I finally am trying to get a point where I can get like the taunt up, can let him start throwing some specials with the power stings. And if I could actually do that and prevent some of the healing, I could actually do some damage. But it took me way too long to figure out what I was doing on this fight. And then once I finally started getting into a decent rotation where I'm finally seeing his health start to disappear. He's taking those power stings. I gotta keep trying to get some more of them applied. But I'm having trouble doing that, and it was just bad play style from myself, and I just didn't really think about it at the time going in. I just kind of felt like, yeah, I'm just going to do what I did with Cassie last time, and it's going to work out great, no problem. But instead, it was a little bit of a mess this time around. There I go for a big special 2, get a bunch of crits on that, so I'm feeling a little bit better. And then there's one point where I also forget throughout this whole business, because I'm kind of frustrated with myself, is that I have to keep knocking down Rintrah so that he doesn't get 10 unstoppables in the corner when I don't have a slow on. And that happens, he gets to a special 2, I mistime the end of it, and I die. So in the end of the day, it made no difference. We were kind of in a lost position before I even started my fights. Not that I started late. I still started with more than a day left on the attack phase. But we'd pretty much put ourselves in a hole where if we've died too many times and you're just relying on the other team to die, that doesn't really bode too well for you. So that death really meant nothing at the end of the day. It was unfortunately a loss anyways, but I'm still boosting up for every fight. I'm not giving up on anything here. And here again, although I do get clapped in the face, I do I tried to shrink down there, but that didn't work. But I do a better job of getting this Rintrah down the second time around here, but still sped the fight up because it was way too slow for my liking. Actually, looking back at it, is much. I don't know if it would have went as well. I'm trying to think if Sandman would have done a better job, or if I just had to play better with Cassie, and because here I do a much better job, but I keep trying to shrink down or evading, and it just wasn't working. This fight, I just felt awful even after this one, because I've already had to heal up once, and I have like 3 or 4 more Cassie fights scheduled for this war, where she plays absolutely amazing and does exactly what I need for those fights. But this one was just driving me crazy. So this node, for the second time this season, has caused me some problems. So it's a little bit annoying, but hopefully we can, like, maybe one of these wars this season will actually get a nice deathless war. But for now, it has been rough this season. Not a lot of deaths, but like 1 death a war is still too many. Yeah, I don't think it's, at the end of the day, it's not really affecting the battle group overall. But still, you don't want to see it if you don't have to. All right, next up is Path 3 in Section 1. We've got Hulkling for this infamous Iron Man. This is the electric defense with spaced armor. He is going to put a special lock on me at one point here, but what we're going to do is every time we hit in, we're going to be special locked. So what I'm going to do is I build up to 2 bars of power. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to back off. I used to do this fight all the time with Hulkling. You hit into the block, and then I bait the special 2, and now the special lock is off. So I'm just going to hit into his block, wait till I'm unblockable, and then you launch the special 2. And then you can get it off no problem. A few more beta heavy, a few more hits into him, and that's it. Clean fight. That one took a few seconds. Then we've got a Knull. This one is also just a regular Knull. He doesn't have any special nodes, like the nodes don't, he doesn't have any armor, so I'm not affected by the node at all here. And again, I'm immune to like power burn, so it's just a Knull fight with Hulkling. I don't want to deal with his special 1 if I can avoid it, so I am just going to try and push to special 2. I know how to evade that one, no problem. I'm going to back up here, wait till I tried to get into his block here again, trigger the unblockable, drop a big old special 2, and then again, just try and make sure that we don't let him get to a special 1, and that's it. Use the striker, and goodbye, Knull. Next is a wonderful fight with Viv Vision. This is Path 1 in Section 2. This is like the healing one. If you back up, you trigger regen. You don't want to give them too many regens. Here, we're just going to play perfectly with Viv. Use the phase against Kingpin, because we can't, he's going to purify your stuns anyway. Let him build to a special 1. We're putting on heal blocks with our medium ending combos. And we're just going to build up to a special 2, drop it. I'm still working on getting that timing right to get all the solar bursts, but still doesn't matter. We've got a nice special 2, and my Viv is Sig 200, so we're going to see how many wonderful special ones we can get in a row. We're going to drop a heavy here, let Kingpin throw his special 1, and then we're just going to see we got 60% health left. And here comes the magic. We're going to throw the heal block on at double medium, and then a special 1, another unblockable special 1, and one more unblockable special 1. Wonderful fight. Finish with a full yellow bar. Viv, kind of at her finest. Next up, we've got a Man-Thing. This one's on Buffet and Reinvigorated Unblockable Arc Overload. So we are going to take this one with Sandman, and it's a lot of fun here with Sandman. We just have to make sure that we parry and heavy or knock him down just to keep the slow up, because he is going to be putting those buffs on me. Even though I'm poison immune, we learned early on this season that you can still trigger the unstoppable, because like every time those buffs expire on me, there's a chance for him to go unstoppable. So we just want to make sure, as long as we're knocking him down, throwing heavies, special 1s, don't get clapped in the face. As long as we keep knocking him down and the slow is applied, there's nothing to worry about. And yeah, absolutely shredded here. I did speed it up just a little bit. We're going to go for a nice big old special 2 here. And we're completely shutting down the healing. We can't reverse it here, but we can absolutely shut it down with all the debuffs that we apply from Sandman. And again, I'm not a perfect Sandman player at all, but I am just trying to make sure I can keep knocking him down. It's either special or heavies. We just need to keep that up. We need the slow active the entire time so we don't get clapped by it and unstoppable. Again, that's a little bit better performance on evading and countering the special 1 than we've seen earlier this season. But yeah, very good. We have our unstoppable active at the moment. So in theory, I could have blocked it and just gone right in, but that's fine. He also gets his, he did get enough regens nodes throughout the fight to eventually get that unblockable. We're aware of that, and that's not a problem. I saw it coming, played around it, and now we can go back to parry heavies if I need to, and another special 1 or a striker into a heavy, counter that special 1 with our own special 1, and that just about does it for Man-Thing. Really happy with Sandman here. Did exactly what we needed and finished with almost a full yellow bar. Now, here's a fight where someone was asking me earlier in the chat how I do these metal champions on node 21. So I have I think it's the Pacify Mastery, the one that gives you more ability accuracy on parries. So between that and the magnetism, you get back off at the beginning, make sure the magnetism applies. I throw a heavy while he's stunned, so less ability accuracy there as well between the magnetism and the masteries. I never get a single bleed on me the entire fight. I bait the 1 special 1 here. And again, I think I did start with a power start 1 here just to make it easier to get to a special 3. So at 8 hits here, we're already at a special 3 with 27 prowess. We're going to drop this. It's going to go for 3 hits, so 11 hits, and future Ant-Man is destroyed. There, he's done. So that's what I do for that node. Next is this Mephisto with, again, spaced armor. He has no armor up, so there's nothing special here. So we're going in with Cassie, and the only thing I have to do with this Mephisto is manage his, when he's in his aura of if he's got the aura active, I'm going to take incinerate damage if I'm too close to him. So that's fine. I'm just going to keep going ahead and baiting specials the entire time. And as long as I keep my distance and he's happy to throw his specials, I'll try and put on some power stings, put on the special 1 for the taunt to make sure he keeps throwing them, and he'll just take a bunch of nice damage every time he keeps throwing those specials, taking that nice power sting damage. And I'm just keeping my distance so I don't take too much damage from the incinerate from the aura that's active. I know that I'm going to take less damage over time because of the debuffs from the global, but because it's not really a damage over time, it doesn't feel like it's not. I didn't want to get too close to him. I feel like I would still melt from if I was too close to him from the aura. So that's fine. Clean fight from Cassie. Next, this is also a little bit of a sped up fight. This America Chavez. We did this one last time where it's ebb and flow knockdown and aggression prowess, and so I need to knock her down to do damage, and she's going to be throwing a bunch of heavies, but because of the global, the only thing that removes one of the dimensions from America Chavez is a wither. So even if she does throw a heavy attack, we can remove the dimension with a wither, and there is going to be one point in this fight where she doesn't behave exactly the way I want, and I do end up pushing her to a special 2, but because I'm able to get intentionally go in and hit a wither before she throws her special 2, I remove the negative zone, and instead of it being an unblockable special 2 and wrecking the crap out of me, I am able to block the special 2 because it's only going to be unblockable if that negative zone is active. So that's where, as long as she doesn't have any of the dimensions when she throws that special 2, then you know you're good to go on blocking it. If not, trying to evade it is kind of a mess, and I would be too scared to shrink down and try and get it to miss here, because I don't know the spacing on trying to pull off some type of maneuver like that. So this fight is only slow because really you can't rely on when you knock her down. She also gets debuff immunity. So you can't rely on power stings. You can only rely on like just basic hits. So you're really you're just brute forcing it here. You know, no brute force on this note, but that's what you're doing. You're just literally just going in, and every time you do knock her down, you do get a passive fury, like a 40% fury. So as long as you knock her down and then do your basic hits, you are going to be critting quite a bit. So it's not too bad. So she does like to throw that special one, which is really good. And we're doing really well here. I did take a little bit of damage, which again is just par for the course for this fight. I think a little bit you're going to take something, because again, the debuff immunity, you have to try and you don't want to force her into heavies, but you're trying to force special ones as much as you can the entire time, and it works out really well. Again, just means I just had to pour a few more potions into Cassie, just making this one of the more expensive wars of the season for me. But there we go, a nice fight from Cassie, and now we're gonna do some more Cassie. We're gonna take another mini. We're gonna take this one eye open Man-Gog. So here we can't parry. If we parry and hit him, we're going to take reflected damage. So here I'm going to shrink down, and of course, like usual, the AI just does not want to hit into me. So then I'm going to go ahead and say, fine, I'll bait a heavy attack, and we'll try and get some, then he finally comes and tries to hit me. We get some power stings on, and now I just want to, of course, I tried to be cute and shrink down at the very end, and that didn't work. So here we're going to put the taunt back on. And of course, I lose my invulnerability boost that I put on almost immediately. But that's fine. We're going to figure this one out. So far, it wasn't working exactly the way I wanted. Here, you have to knock him down in order to do damage as well. There's a protection. And again, I cannot parry. So all I can do here is I'll put like I try and get the poison on if I can. I try to get the taunt on the special one, and right now he's got 10. He's in his he had his 10 charges, but because we had the slow up, he didn't get the unstoppable. I only had to deal with the unblockable, so that's not so bad. As long as we're knocking him down, keeping the slow on, it really shouldn't be too bad. I just want to get him to throw as many specials as possible, which normally wouldn't be ideal for Man-Gog, because as much as you're baiting his special ones, that means he's going to be going into his like. It's not a rage mode. I think it's hatred. That's what it is. So if he gets to 10 hatred, then you can see here he's unblockable, but the unblockable goes away after the end of the special, and because we had the slow up, he did not trigger the unstoppable. So not too bad here. So again, I try shrinking down. I get the heavy to hit him, but there we finally get him to hit in. So we're up to like 15 power stings, and that's much better. So then I can go ahead, go for a light ending combo, get the poison on, get the extended duration on the power stings. There we're going to get a few more on. We're up to 22. He throws it again. We've got the taunt on from the special one. We're going to go for a striker into another heavy attack. We've got 22 on again. And now he's pretty much toast. And we finished with almost a full yellow bar here. Pretty high on the health. And we do have one more fight for you, this one. So we do have like 3 minis. This one's not 7 like the previous war, but still a fair amount of mini boss action. Last is this Longshot on Combat Deja Vu Prowess and Conflictor. So Conflictor had me a little bit concerned that I was going to potentially push him to a special 2. So I was very careful on this one not to push to special 2 at all. So it was a lot of dancing around, making sure he throws that special 1, and then if I can shrink down like that and get as many power stings again on as possible. But you'll see here, I'll just do like, there's just a 2-hit combo. 1-hit combos, 2-hit combos. I'm not going for big ones here, trying to go for those heavies to get power stings on. But really, and then we'll go like counter into special 1 to get the taunt, and the taunt's going to help me get him to throw special 1s. So that's what I need. I can parry on this node. It's just conflictor. As long you have to be aware that if the conflictor timer is going, then it's a free parry. If not, then I can't. So I don't want to waste like a potential parry to give the conflictor, because I'm already putting on enough from the withers and the power stings. So I'm just trying to limit it as much as possible. That was really nice. Get a nice little power sting in there. And again, Cassie did great work against this long shot. I think Void is probably the safest against this guy, because you can probably, you can handle his power and your incinerate immune in case he goes to a special 2. But Cassie worked extremely well. We were able to get quite a, like, not a ton of power stings on, but enough that we could keep and keep pushing him to those special 1s, try and get the taunt again with our special 1, and it worked out really well. So we barely lost much health. Really, it was that Rintrah at the beginning that messed me up the most. But after that, the rest of the war went pretty smooth. And so 10 out of 11 fights soloed. I'll take that pretty much any time. Obviously, we'll see if we can... it's only War 7. We still have 5 more to go this season. See if we can try and start some form of a deathless streak here. That would be really nice. And here at the end of this one, we got like 18 power stings there. He's nice to go in again, get a few more, and he drops it. And that's it for Longshot. Hope you enjoyed the war, guys. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.